Okay, let's go, meeting to order. Almighty God, you have blessed us with memory, reason, and skill. Help us to use them wisely in the service of our town government. We ask this in thy holy name, amen. Salute the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you all for coming. Anyone in the audience would like to address us in public forum?
Just a quick thing, I was attending a couple of soccer games up by the bus garage field on the Prospect Hill Road today, this fall. I noticed what a hazard it is there. It's really dangerous. It should be, in my opinion, a school zone. You're coming from the village of Champlain, cresting that hill, and it's impossible to see the traffic that's about to back out in front of you or people trying to leave there. You know, it's, I don't know, 40, 45 miles in front of the school. I don't know why it wouldn't be the same on that town road at 45 miles an hour. So I don't know if this is something the town can do or what this.
You're talking about Prospect Street?
On Prospect Hill Road by the bus garage, there's a soccer field there, there's a baseball field there. People park there and they back out onto the road and they're backing into traffic that's coming 55 miles an hour over a hill. And the people coming over the hill, coming from the village, can't see anything until they're 100 feet away from the person backing out in front of them. So it's a school area, it's a school zone, so I don't know what has to be done to
Orders the school.
on a town road, what has to be done to make it a school zone, but it should be lower speed limit.
Alan's been through this before, I believe, on town roads. We have to go to the county, to the state. Am I right, Alan?
I'd have to inquire in the county, see what we can do with the school. Maybe this it won't be like an ordinary back road, it'll probably rush. I had thought, when I went a couple weeks ago, I went to a soccer game and I saw that, I couldn't back out of there. I got called and I had to leave in a hurry, and I couldn't get out of there. And I said, there should be some kind of light or something when this soccer game's going on or something's going on there.
That's not something to reduce you gotta do something to reduce the speed, because if I do that, I back in so I can drive out. Because I know backing out is just impossible. You're backing
Maybe
in.
call the county, see what I can do,
I did.
and get along with the school. Maybe they got more pull and stuff.
Yeah, maybe we could talk to somebody on the school board.
I did read recently that there is a bill in either the Assembly or the Senate to allow towns to reduce speed limits without state approval. To my knowledge, that has not passed. It would be a great savings for us time-wise to get things done. So I'm sure we'll hear about it if it happens, but I know it's a bill in the Assembly or Senate. It has to be approved by both and has to be signed by the governor.
Yeah.
But it would be a great help to towns to be able to do that without state. Because usually they do try to control counts. And
I'm surprised the school never did anything because there was a school bus backing out of there.
Yeah. So if we could initiate something here tonight, I think it'd be a good idea.
you certainly can,
Yeah.
The life you save may be Alan's, you know?
Yeah.
it has to start through Allen and the county to the state.
Yeah.
I'll bring it to the next school board meeting.
Anything else?
I agree.
No.
Okay, then, no?
Well, I'm happy. Had a good conversation today at the meetings, and I'm glad that we have another meeting to
Yes.
sit down and talk.
Well, I think they know our concerns.
Yeah, well, I hope we got the point across.
Sure did. Okay, we do have a public hearing at 7:15 roughly, so I want to get through most of the agenda if I can. I need approval of the minutes of October 13th, the town board meeting in October.
I just like to amend on the first page, it's a recreation trail, not a bike path. I mean, it's for walkers, it's for joggers, it's, anybody who wants to use it.
You are correct.
So, where it says bike path, it's that, substitute recreation trail.
Okay. So, I have a second for that. Will you amend it?
I'll second.
Thank you. Any concerns, questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
There's a
Carried.
hearing on that.
Yeah, I was just gonna,
Recreation.
December 1st here,
December 1st.
here at the town offices, December 1st, it's a Tuesday evening at 6 o'clock. Is the public hearing. Well, I shouldn't say, I don't know if it's a hearing or just informational.
It's put on by the county, but they're having it here.
Yes.
That's the understanding?
Yes.
County project? so
Yes.
they're-
So, and certainly invite everybody to come to that on December 1st.
So is that for the whole recreation trail, including the villages, or just the
Yes.
town
Yeah.
part?
It's the whole,
The county's gonna present it, yeah, so hopefully Al Rasco is there, and he is the one putting in most of the grant.
also shows the whole plan.
Because I know
The
that-
design phase of it.
I know the village of Rouse's Point, and several people had a
Yes.
lot of concerns, so.
We're well aware of it.
Yeah, they were here last week.
Okay.
Again, sorry.
Six.
Everyone, notice did we do it? Yeah, we did. You have your town clerk's monthly report? Have a motion to approve?
Make a motion to approve the town clerk's monthly report.
Any questions on the town clerk's monthly report? If not, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That's also carried. Zoning board minutes is strictly for information only, they approve them. It is very interesting, try to read those. We have to keep up on what's going on. This here is real property service, I'm sure Julie, you're aware of this one. Water, sewer, and any village levies must be in our office Monday, 23rd of November. The people that have not paid their water and sewer bills. Niner sent us the rate adjustments. They're expecting an overall change should be an average of 3.5%. And more on automobiles, trucks, strictly for information. Board of Assessment Review. Okay, we need to, we have one, I'll have to bring this back next month. John Champlain's term is up. This, it's already up, November 30th. I did ask Tim Shapinsky to check with John to see if he wanted to be reappointed. And I understand we probably will have a resignation off that board.
Yes.
And we do have somebody in mind, don't know if they'll accept it, we got until January or even later if they had to. There's 5 seats on that board, one comes due every year. The appointment for the vacant seat will only be for the balance of that term. Okay.
We have to approve John though.
Yep.
If he declines it, that's fine, but. at
Well,
least
he
we
wants to
He
do
does?
it, yeah.
I'm not aware of it.
Yeah, Tim told me he was going
He
to.
did not get back to me on that, so I have no problem with
I'll make a motion to approve Mr. John Trombley for board assessment review term of 5 years.
5-year term. We thank him for his service so far, he's been on for several times.
I'll second that motion.
I thank you. Any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That's carried. You got your dog control officer report? Thank you. Good reading. Okay, the Association of Towns sent us a letter pertaining to their annual meeting in February, next upcoming February, 14th and 17th, the Marriott. To my knowledge, I do not believe that we budgeted for anybody to go to this. Okay? So it's strictly for information. The Champlain Valley National Heritage Partnership. This is a grant that we were asked to be the lead agency on. It has to be a town, village to do it. It's pertaining to Celine Paulcat's museum. She's been awarded $2,498. That money will come to us. We've done this in the past. and she has to put vouchers in, we get reimbursed up to that amount. There's absolutely no cost to us other than writing a check. Okay. Just wanted to be aware of that one. Alan, what you got for us?
Well, I got those two resolutions there.
The cast iron road and we have to approve those resolutions for the CHIPS money. And that's what this is all about.
Okay. Basically, it's a resolution to keep them on the list, Alan, is that?
Well, what happened is they did an aerial survey on some of these roads, and they found out that the cast iron road, tarmac ends, and they figured the balance of the road, that was it. It was like it turned into a private road, which it's not. We still maintain, it's never been turned over. And then the BSEC road was the same thing. I mean, BSEC road is only maybe 200 feet of tarmac in it, but we still maintain that, because we gotta go turn around in there in the winter time with the snow plow, so we keep it open, and we keep the brush down, so. They told me that down there, I said, well, we're still maintaining it, and they said, well, get the town board to pass a resolution saying that, showing that I still maintain the roads. So they keep this on that chip list, otherwise we're gonna lose 2 miles and 17 tenths off the chip list.
Which we don't need to do.
Well, I don't know, it'd be different if we turned them roads over to, to private individuals, but those roads have never turned over, we're still maintaining it.
Yep.
So nothing's changing.
Nothing is changing, it's just their way of doing things with an aerial view.
Yep.
It was just to clarify a point.
Yep. We're acknowledging that we are still
Right.
town roads.
And we're gonna put town road signs on them. We got them ordered.
Yeah.
Okay. So we need a motion, was that a form of motion, John?
That is in front of the motion, yes.
Thank you.
I'll
And
second
we
it.
have to do them individually, we'll have a roll call vote on both of them.
Okay. Let's do which one first? Cast iron road?
Cast iron road,
Okay. Is there any question on the cast iron road?
anything motion, I'll second it. All right, good, we'll
You made a motion, Steve, second, John, excuse me, John, okay, roll call vote. John?
Aye.
Brian?
Aye.
Steve? Aye. Dennis?
Aye.
Aye, myself. The other one is the Misak Road, it's only a few hundred feet, 200 feet, whatever it is.
0.23.
1.23, okay. Do I have a motion?
I make a motion, we approve NESAC road from the town of Champlain.
Second.
Thank you. Any questions on this one? Roll call vote again. John? Brian?
Aye.
Steve?
Aye.
Dennis?
Aye.
Aye, myself, thank you. Alan, anything else?
No, that's all I had.
Okay. Okay. I got just about quarter after, so I do need a motion to go into a public hearing for the budget.
I so move.
I'll second that. So we have open the public hearing for the budget.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That's okay. You got the,
Town of Champlain notice of public hearing upon preliminary budget for the year 2016. Notice is hereby given that the preliminary budget for the fiscal year beginning January 1, 2016 has been completed and filed in the office of the town clerk at Champlain, New York, where it is available for inspection by any interested person at all reasonable hours. Further notice is hereby given that the town board of the town of Champlain will meet and review said preliminary budget and hold public hearing thereon at the town office in Champlain, New York on Tuesday, November 10th, 2015 at 7:15 p.m. And that at such hearing any person may be heard in favor or against any item or items therein contained. Pursuant to section 113 of town law. The proposed salaries of the following town elected officials are hereby specified as follows. Supervisor, $19,000. Council members, 4 at $6,150. Town clerk, tax collector, $26,564. Highway superintendent, $19,503 elected, $34,116 working superintendent. Notice is also given that the regular town board meeting will be holding immediately following the budget hearing by order of the town board.
okay, thank you. Most of you are well aware of the budget. We worked on this several days, several evenings, I should say, just to where we got it. Does anybody in the audience or any council member have any questions on the budget? Basically, our budget, the tax rate goes up 5 cents per thousand. On a $100,000 house, that would be $5. The tax rate would be 218 last year, it was 223 this year. Town taxes, okay? The other ones we have little or no control over, like the firemen's, the fire assessments, EMS, county taxes, all that. Our budget is just a town budget. Okay? The tax rate will be 223. Does anybody have any questions or concerns or?
What I read in the paper was that it's mainly because of the YF assessment going down, Pfizer.
It's a big part of it. We lost approximately $2 million in assessment. We lost more than that from, when we tore down Pilot,
Right.
but we gained some on the other end, so net loss was roughly $2 million in assessment. And I'm sure in the future it's gonna be even more than that, okay? So it looks that way.
What, do we know what it's assessed at now? How much, so roughly how much more we can lose, how much, you know roughly what it's assessed for right now?
I can throw a figure out, I'm sure it would not
Roughly.
be totally accurate. I'm thinking it was like $8 to $10 million.
Now,
No, excuse me.
before?
No, the Pilot reduction, when they tore that down. The total assessment was $25 million. So that would be $14-15 million. To my understanding, it may not all be tore down. A good part of it may be.
But the good news is though, they're gonna be open for another 2 years. though.
Yes, good.
Let's get a positive spin here.
What's left
That's
there,
what the plan is right now.
Yeah.
it's whatever the assessment is as of March 1st. So if they tear nothing down between now and March 1st, their assessment will not change from this year. Okay? So we're good for another year or two on that end, as far as the assessment on the existing building. Where that goes, who knows? Hopefully we gain some assessments in other places.
Well, that's what the water and sewer projects are for.
To bring, okay, we have, the
Hudson Headwater,
well, Hudson Headwater will be a tax-free,
okay.
they're a nonprofit organization, that will be tax-free to my knowledge, okay? Alistair came in, we are looking at another store in 2 or 3 years from now, probably. The guy has plans for it. I think we did a terrific job keeping them in the nickel, really, under the circumstances.
I always say this every year, but it's a big credit to Jane.
It is, Jane does, well, she's got roughly 25 years' experience in putting the budget together, so she is the one that knows that budget better than anybody, for certain, okay? It's a tough thing to keep within anywhere near the cap, the state. And I can never understand why the villages, the towns, the county has a tax cap, the state doesn't.
Well, if it followed 2%, it might be okay,
Yeah,
but it doesn't follow 2%.
No.
This year it was 0.76.
right, yes, okay.
It really makes no sense if you're not gonna have a,
To my understanding, the tax cap was made or instituted to make towns, villages, counties use up their fund balances. Well, there ain't a lot of fund balances left, and certainly in school districts, which I'm somewhat involved in too, there's not a lot of fund balances left. And especially in the northern tier here, we have houses selling less than their assessed value. Okay, because of why moving out of town in Ross's Point, for instance, and that's not helping us, you know? So there's a lot of things in the equation here, why. Anyways, I think the town board, with James' help certainly, came up with a pretty solid budget, without cutting any services, to speak of at all. We have no huge highway equipment expenditures for next year. We have put a little bit of money away for the following year for equipment, because some equipment we can't pay for in 1 year. I think we're well equipped. I think we need to be well equipped. It's easier to stay up than it is to catch up, so to speak, with your equipment, keep it up to date. And we're very, very lucky in town Champlain with the sales tax revenue. The county sends that our way.
But we'll be losing a little bit of that because our assessment goes down.
But that is true. That's based on total assessment of the township.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the sales tax revenue has gone down considerably according to the newspaper.
Yeah, within the last month, yeah.
Yeah. A lot of that has to do with the
Maybe
value of
not.
the Canadian dollar. A lot of that has to do with things that we cannot control,
Oh, yeah.
okay? I think it's a good budget. The town board has not received any wages increases in several years. The non-union people basically got a 2% increase, which is about average. Any questions? Anybody?
That's well said, Larry.
Certainly a lot of thought goes into this process. We start this in August, really, July and August, thinking about it. If there's no other questions, we will adjourn the public hearing.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Now, do I have a motion to approve the budget? As presented.
I'll make a motion to approve the budget as presented.
I'll second that motion.
Any questions? Oh, well, we probably should have a roll call vote on this. John?
Aye.
Ryan?
Aye.
Steve?
Aye.
Dennis?
Aye.
And I have myself, and I thank you, board members, for putting in several meetings to work on the budget. Much appreciated. Okay. Several things. We need to schedule a public hearing. Now, we do have one on the 24th of this month, the consolidation of the water districts. I believe that's at 6 o'clock on the
Yes.
24th, okay? We need to schedule another one in December. For the local water law. Somebody else got that written down?
Yeah, right here.
You got it, okay. Thank you for that.
Sure, yeah.
What?
Usually, yeah.
Right in front of me. Thank you. Okay. I don't know what number it is. Julie can,
It's 4, I believe it's 4.
okay. So I'd like to schedule a public hearing for our next meeting, which will be on December 8th, 7:15, if that's okay?
7 or 7:15?
7:15. To get the meeting started before we have a public hearing. Is that acceptable? Okay. Can I have a motion to approve public hearing for the 8th of December at 7:15? Okay.
Make a motion, we have at 7:15 on the 8th, which is Tuesday meeting.
It's actually, Julia, this is not the one, that's the consolidation, am I correct?
Yeah, that's the one I have.
Yeah, but this is the one we're doing on the 24th, right? Am I correct?
24th.
Yeah. Yes. I'm talking about the one we just got today.
This is the one I got today.
I see it.
Is this the same one? That's the only one I got.
I don't have another one from There's a shorter one that's consolidated water district.
That's just a letter.
Yeah.
This is the only one I got, but this is,
No, we got one today. I can go get it if I have to. It's pertaining to, the water loss. No, water loss, right on.
it is, this is it. It says
This is it?
local law establishes Town of Champlain Consolidated Water District Water Law. This is, this,
It's not consolidated. There's two different things here. The
this
meeting on
is
the
the water
24th,
law, this is the one Jane gave me to have everybody.
Right here.
the meeting on the 24th is consolidate the water districts. Correct?
Yes.
Larry?
That was, a while ago.
No,
No, that's not it.
no, because it came today. And I said, well,
This,
basically,
this single page
Yeah.
letter identifies the 24th as the public hearing for.
yes, that's something different. That's when we requested, we're gonna send that to all all users
Right.
in all water districts.
And this morning,
Yes.
We need to go over that, you know,
Yes.
individually and.
Local water laws.
No, I'm sorry, the letter he mentioned about sending out,
Yes.
we need to go over that.
Yes,
and-
I will discuss that in a minute. So I draft, I read it, I have no problem with it.
This is the water law, because it says, it's got all the meters and the testing and, I believe this is the right
It's the
one.
water law, and the other one's the consolidation. So I'm gonna, December 8th, public hearing at 7:15 to adopt the water laws. Okay, we didn't vote on that, did we?
John,
John made a motion, did he?
yeah, but I didn't get a second.
I'll second.
We'll find a second for it. Any questions on scheduling the public hearing? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, now let's go to the letter that we were just talking about a minute ago. We asked, his draft on it, that also came today. We had some concerns that we have a legal obligation to advertise publicly the meeting on the 24th. Several of the councilmen thought that we should go a little further than the legal ads in the paper and literally send a notice through the mail to every user, present users, and everyone on the new District 6. Okay? Anybody got a chance to read it? I have no problem with it. Do you want me a minute or two to read it?
The only thing you might wanna do is something about the proposed cost. And I know we don't have anything firm, but
The what now?
the proposed cost,
Water rates?
yes. I mean, I'm just throwing that out. And the big thing is to get people to come to the public hearing,
Yes.
but,
I'll just read this quickly if I can. Town of Champlain, after having developed and having established Water District Number 6, has now endorsed a resolution to proceed with a joint consolidation agreement and would effectively consolidate all 6 existing water districts within town into one district to be called the Town of Champlain Consolidated Water District. Purpose of this proposed consolidation is to provide long-term and economically efficient water supply to customers within the existing water districts. Town and the village has worked cooperatively to move forward with substantial improvements and upgrades to the existing system to benefit all users. This consolidation will offer uniformity throughout the consolidated districts as well as equality in water rates and services to customers. Should you have any input, the town of Champlain will hold a public hearing that is scheduled for Tuesday, November 24th at 6 p.m. at the town hall located at 729 State Route 9, Champlain, New York, to receive any comments from the public regarding this proposed consolidation. The town board welcomes your participation. It's certainly alerting the people that there is a public hearing on that day. If anybody's interested in any aspects of it,
but we may be, I don't know if you wanna bring up about the billing for the services ahead of
I
time.
think I'll just add in there, purpose of the proposed consolidation and costs associated with just say costs, because we don't know what the numbers are going to be.
Right, we
So
don't,
there should be
but
something in there that
people are gonna
identifies.
ask, yeah.
Right, I'm saying identify in here that this discussion will include the costs associated with that consolidation. right? And now,
That,
'cause then we're
that's
not,
good, yeah, because people may not be aware that there is a cost. Not as bad as we thought, but there, you know, there's a lot of improvements to the system, a lot. I mean, but, so, yeah, I like the idea.
and that's why Jane wanted us to look at this, I don't think it's a draft, and we should be grooming it so that it gets people here, but what doesn't light a fire underground too bad, or, you know, just,
Yeah,
I don't know, what do you think, John?
Oh, I think that's a good idea, and we came up with this deal, we got with Len Cutter's office in Blacksburg, and he has that scan down there, and he scans every piece of property, he's got a tax number in those districts, and he's sending out stuff with all the address labels and everything, so we have to thank the county a little bit for this one. But we want to make sure that everybody is included in this, that owns property in
Yeah.
these districts.
Right, because we did have a lot of dialogue, for lack of a better word, with constituents about not knowing about the project. So I wholeheartedly support the idea of sending a letter out,
Yeah.
so that,
Everybody can say that, and everybody's gonna be on the mailing list, and they're all gonna get one,
yeah,
and then they can't come here and say that we never advised them.
there you go.
Because that's what happened before, and I was amazed, because all that stuff, we had those meetings, it was in the paper, and word of mouth should carry something around there also. But they come in, they've been there, no
well,
idea about
certainly,
it.
I think the ad went in, what, 4 Mondays, Julie? We had to put that in legally, we were told that was our legal obligation to do that. So we felt that we wanted to go a little further, send a notice out to everybody. I know there's a little cost involved, but, everybody will know that we gotta do that even. So, Steve, can you, pencil in what you think there?
Yeah,
We'll have this retyped and.
The purpose of this proposed consolidation and associated costs to provide a long-term and economically efficient water supply to customers within the existing water districts.
Well, within the existing districts as well as
The newly formed
the newly formed district. It's been well recommended to us that we're gonna consolidate our districts and have one, then 6 districts. I got a, we will be putting this on town stationery. We wanna get this out soon. We're not here tomorrow, but maybe, you know when the labels will be here?
No, I've been calling today, I should see.
Well, certainly,
So Tim came in today, he didn't have them.
I believe next week, 16th, 17th, 18th, will be an opportune time to send those notices out. People like notices maybe a week ahead, not 3 weeks ahead. People tend to put them aside, they're too far ahead. I do hope that we get good participation, and we can inform people. Okay? Anyways, if nobody has a problem with Steve is writing up, we just have letters sent out.
Yeah.
Okay, Steve?
Yep, I'm good.
The 4th sentence down, I just wonder.
Is there a better way to, place to insert it? I mean, that's the only thought I had was, is there a
Anywhere.
better sentence to put that in there? Because you wanna make sure that it identifies the associated costs, not with just the existing customers, but all customers that will be in that consolidated district. What were you saying about the 4th sentence?
The 4th sentence down, consolidate all existing water districts with the town district, it should be in the town.
Yes.
Yes.
I go with Jane and
You got that?
redo this, and then
Okay.
we should send it out, each of us should look at it one more time, I think. When are we saying we should get this out? I didn't catch that.
Next
We're not here tomorrow, but, like, somebody be here Friday, Thursday and Friday, maybe Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday at the latest.
Yeah,
Get this out maybe at least by Tuesday,
first of
maybe.
next week.
Okay. And I think we can't go wrong here by notifying people. I guess we can go wrong if we don't notify people, right?
That's correct.
Yeah. So, it's just one more tweaking the system to get people here. We have had people tell us they didn't see the ads in the paper previously. Not everybody gets the paper for one thing.
And I'd also like to add the fact that the fire protection, the water softening, the increase in property values, the people who have water, and there's no power, I'd like to add those are side.
That night, you don't mean now in the letter.
Yeah,
Oh, in the letter?
yeah, I want people to understand, he's mentioning costs, and this is what they're gonna be paying for.
Right.
Because people are gonna not understand that the water's been softened, or, the reverse osmosis filter. That's a pretty darn good quality water. And then you have the fire hydrants, my gosh, that's gonna lower, your insurance rates, the fire insurance rates. If you're close to a fire hydrant, they ask right on the insurance questionnaire, that'll lower it. And then, I know from my own experience, when you don't have electricity, you don't have water. It's nice to have municipal water.
You got water right across the street.
Trust me, I've used that before. Haven't drunk it, but, you know what I mean? You're
Yes,
telling
okay, I have a
people,
problem with
associating the benefits so people understand.
I don't think we can give them too much
It's-
information.
Well, I don't think that hurts, because
No, it
people,
doesn't, no,
you're sending out a letter, let's have as much.
you're showing on one side of this, we're adding the cost, so we wanna add the benefits.
Yeah.
To that, offset
Yes.
that concern. So we said, reduction in fire insurance costs, water,
Water pressure with no electricity, or water pressure period, plus water when there's no electricity. Increase in property values.
Decrease in insurance rates, increase in property value, that's all part of it.
yes it is.
You got that one, Steve?
Yep. It's called softening though, is it? What's the right term, is it not, and the net result is softened, right? It's just not using salt.
Removing the hardness from the water.
There's also
Iron
filters it a
reduction.
little bit, right? I mean, because
Well, they're mixing it with, I think it's a 75-25% ratio. Mixing 25% of what's already there, the water that's there, and filtering 75% of the water.
improved water quality. is
Yeah.
really good thing.
And you throw in the higher pressures, and you throw in the new infrastructure.
Fire
and-
hydrants and,
Got it.
I think those letters should go out Friday.
Okay.
Well, we don't know yet, we've gotta find out if we have to fold them and stuff the envelopes,
Well, I'm sure we're gonna have to.
yeah, so that has to be done. And then
Because-
we have to get the labels, I mean, Glenn.
Yeah, we don't have that much time.
Well, the thing of it is, now with the postal service,
Oh, I
and
know,
it
that's
goes
a
way
joke,
to,
isn't it?
it goes way to Albany, and if you don't mail them out to Monday,
Well,
that's
It
cutting it
doesn't
close
go
for
only
the
on
people.
Monday, though, I don't believe, just weekends, right?
I think it's all,
Everything,
everything goes.
nothing gets processed in Plattsburgh anymore. Even if it's got P.O. Box, Champlain, New York on it, it still goes all the way to Albany. And that won't be
Mail
the
only
next
next
split,
door,
but-
goes all in and back, okay?
What a joke.
That sounds efficient.
Did you guys know that?
Mhm.
What a joke.
I mean, I'm just saying, if you
Well,
wait
that's
till
right.
Monday, it's putting it close for the people to really get
Yes.
the
Well,
letter.
let's get it out as soon as
as
possible.
soon as possible.
Okay.
We gotta wait till we get the labels, I don't know, I'll be checking on that.
4 or 5 of us to get together on Friday afternoon or something.
See, I'll be checking it on Thursday morning.
Okay. Senator, do you want a motion to do this? I don't know if it's necessary, or I don't believe it is.
This information, all right?
And you will get with Jay?
Yep, I'll give it tomorrow.
Like Thursday, we're gonna get you.
Oh, that's
You,
great.
you can come in tomorrow if you want.
All right, I'll type it up. Send it through an email.
Okay. Other than the bills, do we have, I can't think of anything else. You have your post audit bills, and you have your monthly bills. We need to approve the monthly bills.
I went to, Northeast Photo and Laser Engraving, for $50, and Tom Goslow for $75.60 for his half reimbursement of his work shoes.
Okay. You heard the additions? I need a motion to approve the bills. Most of the bills.
I'll make a motion to approve the bill.
I'll second it.
Any questions on the monthly bills? If not, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That's carried.
Okay, and then I have, Water District number 6, disbursement approval number 15. ATL for $11,397.32. BC, which is bringing your car, for $82,334.75. And statewide Aqua Store for $524,162.50.
The APL is Olympic testing.
Yes, that's what it is.
Why are we paying for the tanks before they're done?
You want to pay for portions of the thing after that.
They did think they had, West Service Road plumbing for tank.
First week in December?
Yeah. But the one on Prospect Hill, they thought it would be too late to put up, so they didn't order it.
So we wanted to depend on the weather.
Yeah, but they're planning on doing the West Service Road.
I believe that.
Nobody's answering my question though. We're paying them before they're up and running. What happens if the thing doesn't operate? What do we do?
We're certainly not paying the full amount.
Paying $500,000.
Yeah, but
It's a $2.5 million project between the two.
Just don't do business that way. Somebody, I sign a contract for $2.5 million. I'm gonna give the guy $500,000 before it's done? Why? I mean, how is that determined? That he's gonna get,
Maybe it says in their contract, as they progress with it, it's like building a house and getting money from the bank. As you progress with it, you get so far, and they give you more money, and that's the way those things are done nowadays.
just trying to understand.
Probably have that much already invested in.
Well, I don't doubt that, but that doesn't,
I think it's none of my business, but I think I
Yeah.
questioned the $82,000 one before I questioned the $500,000 one to the statewide. How was that broken
that one
down?
we should be looking at more closely, I'll agree with that.
How was it broken down? That was one of my questions today. How was it broken down?
I will be talking to Anthony, I'm assuming there's a writing, or what that
Is there, I'm off that one, and I'm agreeing with Greg, is there much detail in burning your cars, Bill?
You can understand that. I mean, you look at it.
Yeah, I'd like to.
Okay, you wanna hold off on that till next meeting? Is that what you're saying?
No, if I'm correct, this has to go on to the EFC for approval for money to be dispensed.
Yeah, it does. But what's the FC's obligation to scrutinize these?
Well, they won't release the funds
Right, but
unless they feel the bills are justified. It takes about a week after we send the bills down there, I think it's every Thursday they approve the bills. We transfer the money directly to our account.
I don't know what a WB or what an MB is.
WMDE.
Yeah, it's
Minority
WBE / MBE.
That's a women's minority business enterprise.
Gotcha.
That's what it's all being placed under.
So the prevention plan, inspection, and record drawings, the startup, the construction stakeout, permits. Some of these are not complete drawdowns, but they're partial drawdowns. I don't mean to be a fly in the ointment here, I'm starting to feel more and more like we need to make sure that
think he's waiting until the 24th until that, so that way you got time to look at it.
Yeah.
The thing of it is, you get
Calvin-
these the night of the meeting and you don't even get a chance to look at it.
I know. Calvin was mentioning about being on the school board. Well, I spent 2 days this weekend up in Lake Placid at a school board member workshop. And one of the days of it was about accountability and fiscal responsibility. And the example given was a school in Roslyn, New York, Long Island, where the superintendent and his assistant superintendent, there's no direct correlation here, it's just an example. They siphoned off $11 million out of their budget, for their, I think it was reserve funds. And what they did was they passed out, the two of them passed out school-sponsored credit cards to their family members. And you know how they got caught? One of the family members was 50 miles outside of the school district and charged like $100 worth of personal items at a Home Depot. And this young clerk decided that that was fishy, right? He's looking at this card, it says Roslyn High School, and then he's looking at the items, and none of them fit anything that you would need for supplies at a school. So he went to his boss went to whoever the internal audit control was at Home Depot, and that's how they got busted.
Are they in jail?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, but what it did was bring out a whole reform of checks and balances for school budgets. And this is a long time ago. And I'll just say one more thing. The biggest thing that you can do is make the parties involved aware that you are looking at things. You don't necessarily have to scrutinize every penny, but if they know that you're gonna be checking invoices randomly and verifying their validity, it creates this whole aura of, hey, I better make sure I'm doing this right, because they're looking, yeah. So that's kind of why I'm mentioning this. Not to point fingers, but just to make sure we're doing our due diligence on
I'm not so sure.
checking those things.
We can approve that at a public hearing though, and that's the only thing that the 24th meeting is for.
Okay.
I'm not sure of that, okay?
It's an official meeting, though. Public hearing, isn't it?
You got a quorum, it's gotta be a meeting.
Yeah. I'd like to do that if you guys don't mind.
I don't mind at all.
I'll make a motion, we table that invoice till the 24th.
Can you actually put it on the agenda for the 24th? Like with the
Yeah.
public hearing?
Okay. Got a second for that, did I?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
I think this, if I can, the way this works, since you're the lead agency, it's your responsibility to go over these bills.
Oh, yeah.
Because once you sign them,
We all
it goes to
sign.
EFC. EFC doesn't, they don't know what work has been completed or what, they're just looking at this as a draw from what the monies that is allotted to this project.
Right.
So as the lead
Yeah.
agency, it's important that you look at these bills and say, well,
They should
okay, I
have
agree with the
that,
expenditures, then it goes to EFC, and then they issue
Okay.
the funds to come back to you.
Okay. So maybe wait 2 weeks more for the money, that's all.
That's all right.
Okay. I have nothing else. Does anybody else have anything? Yes.
I don't know if you've seen this, but there's a time limit. Last Thursday, I believe, or Friday, I'm sure that Jean probably got it, but we received a letter from Environmental Conservation, DEC, that stated that because of some wetlands thing or something with this project, you had to have a notice. The town, as a lead agency, has to have a notice in the Press Republican within the next week or so, stating that there's some wetland exploration or wetland something, and you have to actually, you have to cut that out of the newspaper and mail this back to that woman at DEC.
Are you aware of that, Dave, or not?
I gave I'm sure that probably came through the email that came to me, under the town of Champlain address. I gave a copy of that to Mike Petro yesterday. But I think there's a time limit there that must be met for you to, to get this published in the newspaper. And then you have to send a copy of that newspaper article to this lady.
Okay. Check on that Thursday night. Over here. Anybody else have anything else? Steve, I
I'd like
believe.
I'd like to request an executive session to discuss a personnel matter.
Okay, do I have a second for that motion? Second. All in favor? Opposed? Carried.
I gotta go.
Thank you for coming, Greg.
Thank you all.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you for bulldogging that last issue, appreciate that.
Thanks, Bart.
Everything. Thanks, Julie.
Somebody make a motion to adjourn? Did we? I didn't hear it.
Executive session.
Oh.
Oh, we're going to executive session.